Welcome back to another episode along this journey of the undervalued male. Last episode, we concluded the introductions of the big three systems and concluded with two questions. Why? And what do you have that they all want and crave? Let us start with the why. Why would they all work against you? What have you done to deserve this? It's simple. You were born a male. Why is it important, or why does that matter? Because you make the perfect slave. For starters, you are physically made to endure hardship, pain, suffering, and sacrifice, all while building and maintaining society. You are, in a sense, a living, breathing robot. You don't realize how amazing you are and how vast your capabilities. You can build a bridge over a river for a car to drive over, which both were built by your hands. You can build a rocket to go out of space and land on the moon or planet. You can discover and name every species on the planet. I can go on and on. Of course, some might think it would be nice to control a group who can do those things. Think of all that could be accomplished. Just need them to cooperate. Which leads me to another thing they want and crave from you. Now, this might seem new to you and a lot, but what I'm about to say is the truth and especially important. What they, the big three, want and need from you is your authority. None of this is possible without it. This is why they work in conjunction with each other on you since birth. Is authority that important? Yes, extremely important. Normally, you would have to ask someone to do something for you, and that person has the power to say no. You have the power to say no. But if that person is trained from birth to do whatever is asked of them, they must do it. They don't realize that they possess the power to say no. You have the power to say no. You have the power to question. You have the power to stand firm. You have the power to fight physically, mentally, verbally, and spiritually. Yes, we have laws and rules to abide by, and you should abide by those laws. But did you know you have the power and the right to question them, and then possibly have those laws changed? Authority is power, and they are robbing you of said power. This is a big part of why you feel angry, helpless, and hopeless. Because deep down inside, it feels like you're being drained of life. That life is your power and authority as a man. You need to take back your power, your authority, your life. Well, how can I do that? You may ask. The first step is understanding. Understanding what is going on and why. Then understanding your enemy. Then understand you. See, it's hard to understand you and who you are if you don't understand what's really going on. Because what you might think is you is really conditioning. After you sort through the conditioning, it will be easier to discover who you are. But before we move on, we must discuss a particularly important topic. Even though you've been set up and done wrong, it is imperative to understand that you are not a victim. I know that can be hard, but it is vital and necessary to see yourself not one. Not belittling what has happened to you or what you've gone through, but victim and winner don't go together. How can you victim your way to victory? You can't. Another topic we need to touch on briefly before we move on is anger. I know it has been demonized by society, but anger is a powerful tool to be successful in life when harnessed and controlled. Anger is important to a man. It is an umbrella emotion for us, meaning all our emotions are filtered and fall under anger. All emotional roads lead to anger for us. That's why we have to feel it and control it. Use it as fuel to drive us to succeed. We'll discuss this more later. Now back to the big three and understanding how they work together to control you. As I stated before, the church is the head of the systems. The one system who fully understands your power and authority as a man, but they hate it because they want it for themselves. They are the main villain in your story, whether you realize it or not. They empower and fuel the other systems to emasculate you. Why would they want to do that? I'm glad you asked. It's simple. But first, let me give context and a brief description of a general overview of what a man's role is. First off, a man's role is to be king and ruler of himself. He is well disciplined and focused on his mission and purpose in life. His home and business are his kingdoms. A man has the right to rule his home and business. He decides who comes into his kingdom and what comes in. He obeys the laws of the land, but he has the right to make rules for himself and his household and business. That's a brief synopsis of what a man is, but there is so much more to it. You may be wondering, what is so bad about that? Why would the church be against that? Again, glad you asked. Two things: money and power. See, a man has a right to say no, and that applies to everyone in his household as well. If someone says, "Give me money so I can do whatever I want with it," a man can say no, and that's that. But if a man is weak and not a leader of his home, then someone can say, "Give me money." And not only will that man give it, but the whole family will also. It goes from zero to unlimited. Not only will that person get your money, they also will have the say-so in your life and everyone at home. Think about it like this. Another man tells you what to do with your hard-earned money and tells everyone else in your house that you paid for what to do as well. Sit with that for a second. Does that seem right? See how much money and control a person could have with that ability? Hypothetically speaking, let's say the church came up with a plan to strip men of their masculinity and power so they could become a major factor in society. That they made a deal with the government that gave them an idea. Let's force every male to go to school and teach him how to be the jack of all trades, but a master of none. Confuse him to the point of he doesn't know who he is or even knows what to do. So he works hard, aimlessly, with no purpose. You, the government, get to tax him, and I, the church, get him to give to me as well. We both get rich and powerful off his back, and we never have to lift a finger. Sounds like a win-win for them and a lose-lose for you. In the next episode, we'll go deeper into this hypothetical game plan they created for your life. Until then, see you on the next journey.